We're all in business for a reason. The problem that so many small business owners have is they go in 10 million different directions, not really sure which way to go. Listen as your team of experts, Jennifer Glass and Patricia Reszetylo, go through what you need in your business to really make it stand out and benefit you. Because it's the bottom line that matters. Hello and welcome to another episode of It's the Bottom Line That Matters podcast. We are dedicated to your success. If this is the first time you're checking us out, thank you so much for checking us out. If you are a continuing listener, thank you so much for your loyal following. On our conversation today, Patricia and I are going to continue our social media lead generation ideas that we started talking about a couple of weeks ago. In today's episode, we're going to be focused on lead gen ideas that work with YouTube. YouTube, we know, is the second largest search engine just behind Google. And even with AI picking up, Google and YouTube still dominate the search market. And that is something really important to keep in mind. So when we talk about lead gen ideas that work for businesses on YouTube, there's a couple of things that you do want to remember also. The first is video is an incredible resource. It allows people to really get more of an idea of who you are, how you can help them, things along those lines. But the other thing that is equally as important is also, are you paying attention to the accessibility factor for any videos that you put out? And it's a really important decision that you need to be making, not only legally, but also to allow everybody to enjoy and consume your content. If you're putting information out there, make sure there's captions, make sure you're clear who's speaking, things along those lines, because that really allows people to know, oh, this is what's happening if I can't actually hear or see who is actually speaking. So you want that information there, whether it's in captions or in the transcript, to make it really simple for people to be following along that have some sort of disability. So with that out of the way, and that goes, by the way, on your website, YouTube, all over the place, keep that in mind. But going back now, though, to building your business with YouTube for lead gen, Patricia, let me ask you, as you think about some of the videos that you have seen on YouTube that maybe made you decide, I'm going to at least have a conversation with the company, maybe buy from the company, versus those that said, I'm not going to even go near them with a 10-foot pole. Let me ask you, how did all of that, when you're looking at it, what made you look at it differently or not?
So my process is I usually start following somebody on like Facebook, and at some point they'll say, check out the YouTube channel. So then you end up over there and they've got all these little snippets, tidbits of how their process works or who they work with or how they work, all of those little pieces. And it either clicks or it doesn't. um, and when the pieces click, then you want more. And so you find a link and you click it and you get opted in more, or you sign up for a conversation, or you whatever the next step is going to be.
Right.
But it's a very good way to showcase who you are, what you do, um, in such a way that you don't have to post the whole everything, but you give them just these little snippets.
So it's basically the YouTube shorts instead of a full long video. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I mean, it could be a short, it could be a regular video, it could be 10 or even 20 minutes long, depending. Um, I'm not thinking so much about the length as just the fact that it's a snippet.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So One question then that I would need to follow up with is you mentioned that sometimes you'll start following them on Facebook or maybe LinkedIn, and they'll say, check us out on YouTube too for more whatever.
Yeah.
When you go over to YouTube and you see their channel, is there anything that is going to make you say, all right, I take it back. I don't want to spend any more time with you, as opposed to this solidifies my thinking about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Um, well, if it's clearly not aimed for me. So if me being a 50 something female, there's a lot of men out there posting content that is clearly not aimed for me. I'll actually find it offensive. So I may not even get as far as their YouTube channel. But if I get as far as the YouTube channel, I'm not going to leave a comment. I'm simply going to not follow them anywhere else that I've been following them. On the flip side, one of the things that I look for if looking for, if I'm looking to buy a service, I look at their marketing. How well do they market, especially if it's something within marketing? Um, I want to know that they're going to take care of me, and good marketing has something to do with taking care of.
So let me actually throw a different situation here for instance, or for illustration. I have a water cooler, right? And the water cooler that I have is a bottom feeding water cooler, which means that the big 5 gallon bottle goes underneath instead of on top, right? That means that there's a pump that has to pull the water from the big bottle into the water cooler, and it has to be able to go through all of these hoses to actually come out when you push the button.
As
I
long as the
have
button
had,
works, I don't care where it comes from.
right, but I have had so many instances of having problems where you put the new bottle in and the pump just doesn't recognize the bottle.
Oh,
And so I keep going on YouTube and I keep looking, how do I get this thing to work again? Sometimes the instructions that the company gives works. Sometimes it's people that own it also that helps. And sometimes I've left it unplugged now for 4 months, actually more, because I can't get the thing to recognize the bottle. And I just don't want to buy a new one yet because I know as soon as my son comes home, he'll be able to figure it out again. And so that's an entirely different story because he's done that a couple of times already. Me, I've had to already replace a couple of pieces, and it's just I don't want to think about it more. I've been using other things instead of the water cooler for the water. But again, YouTube here is the how-to video is really important. Like you said, what is it that they're putting out there, and are they going to take care of me? But my question is, though, is if you're a consumer, and let's not look at the marketing side, right?
yeah.
Let's say that you're looking for help with your oven, right? Your oven breaks down. Completely realistic situation, right?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
call the guy to come and service it, or do you try and look on YouTube first to see, is there a really simple fix that I don't have to pay a service visit for to get that thing to work?
Yeah. I'm going to go on YouTube and look,
And you see,
or
this is
more
exactly where I'm
specifically,
going.
yeah, more specifically, my husband will, but he's the one who would be doing the whatever anyway. But yeah.
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 So now that we proved that it doesn't have to only be the marketing side, but it can also be the educational, it can be the how-to videos, right? Those become extremely important then as we're moving forward. And Patricia, like you mentioned, some of those snippets of what they do, this can really be where those snippets really are, right? The how-to videos. And I'm going to share a really interesting video that if you don't believe me, go look it up. How do I change the clock in my car?
Oh my God.
Because 2 times a year, we have to change the clocks in our cars. Some people have cars now that they automatically change, while many have cars that don't.
Yeah.
And one person actually put up a video, and he said in the video, I am putting this up so that I remember next time. How do I need to do it? But this particular video has millions of hits because everyone else is wondering the same thing. I have this kind of car. How do I change the stupid clock?
Yeah, I get that. Totally. Oh dear. I am fortunate to have a car that changes its own clock. Yay.
You know what? That is a big yay
It
because,
is.
when the clocks change, you don't even have to worry about it. It just automatically goes. But that's an example, though, of how you use YouTube. Now, think about it from a car company's perspective, right? Rather than this one person putting out a video and saying, all right, here is how I did it so that I remember next time, right? What if the car company, instead of relying on the manual, which by the way, very few people actually even look at, right? It comes with the car. It's in that nice shrink wrap packaging that's stuffed in the glove compartment somewhere, that everything else ends up in the glove compartment too,
Yep.
inevitably. And
Yep.
then, all right, at some point, maybe I need to pull it out. But what if the car company instead did all of these videos? And it's like, here's exactly how to do it, right? There's a certain accessory company who their website happens to be just 2 letters. We're not going to mention who they are, but you can probably figure out exactly who they are. And they are, out there and they're putting stuff out. And in one of their latest ads, they're saying no matter what year your car is, what make your car is, we've got the accessories for it,
That's
right?
good marketing.
It is great marketing because if I have a 2000 jalopy, right? I want to know that I still can get the stuff that is there. And I'm
Yeah.
purposely not actually mentioning a particular brand so that we don't put anything out there. But you get the idea, right?
Yes.
Whether it's a 2000, a 2010, 2025, 2026 car, whatever it may be, you know that this particular company has that accessory for you, which is a huge deal if you think about it, right? On YouTube, can you do the same thing? You're starting to see an idea how your own business can benefit.
Yeah.
Huge potential value.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what you want to do also is make sure that in your posts, you give people an opportunity to get into your ecosphere on your own owned platform, your email list, your website, whatever it may be. This is where you own the people. It's not subject to someone else cutting you off for doing whatever. So it's really important to think about that in that vein. What are you doing? How is that going to really help you and make a difference to really be connecting with your audience? Because they view your video. Now what? If all it is,
Yeah.
they view your video, you get an extra view. But if they don't take action, you lost that view. Like Patricia was saying, all of these short snippets, whatever, if they don't have a clear call to action at the end, what value do I have?
Well, I mean, it still has value, but it really minimizes the value that you could have.
Right.
Yeah. So you want a nice little call to action on your snippet, and then in your description, you want a good call to action and a link to somewhere and make it an embedded link. So it's not something that they have to copy and paste, because if you make them copy and paste it, it ain't going to happen. We got to be able to click. Sorry, people.
Yes, you
All
want it
there is to
as
it.
possible.
Yeah, with as little friction as possible.
Yes. And the other thing also that I will say is YouTube ads can be an incredible value for you. Again, depending on your particular business, what it is that you're doing, a YouTube ad can be very powerful. I want you to think about it from this perspective. Every YouTube video you go to, unless you're on YouTube Premium, in which case I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I'm assuming YouTube Premium does not have videos. I have to say, I never was a member of YouTube Premium. Different story, not saying anything pro or against. It's just I have other avenues for my entertainment, if you will. And so that's not where I'm going. But every other YouTube video starts with an ad. And there's ads in the middle of longer videos as well.
Yes.
If you can get your video right in the middle or before a competitor's piece, especially, how is that going to work for you? Right? Someone is looking for, and I'm going to use an example, someone is looking for a water delivery service, right? Because I mentioned the water cooler before. Now, if I am one of the major companies and there's a local company that is doing the video all about what they're doing, or vice versa, if I put my ad in that video, I get a significant increase in the likelihood of a conversion, right? Just because I'm already looking for that service.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you have that out there? How is that ad potentially going to help you in terms of what it is you are going to be doing? And the other thing I will add also is make sure you track information, because you can even include UTM parameters with your links when they come from YouTube, so you know exactly how people are coming to you. Your CRM might be in a position to record that so that you can really see, is it coming from an ad? Is it coming from organic? What exactly is it? Just like your other search strategies, you can be doing a lot in that regard to ensure that you are getting the results you're looking to get.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
finally, one other thing that I will just add here is if somebody reaches out from your video, if you can reach out to them within 5 minutes, there's a much greater likelihood of you actually reaching them when the problem is present, directly on their mind, in a way that you can actually reach out to them. So
Yeah.
whether it's, again, using your automated CRM systems that can reach out, oh, hey, John, you just filled out this form that you were looking for information because of this particular YouTube video. Here's some information. If you want, give me a call right back on this number and I'm happy to have a chat.
Yeah.
Low level outreach,
Yeah.
potential high rewards. Think about what that does for you.
Speed to lead is really important. Yes.
It absolutely is. And of course, don't neglect optimizing the video, right? The descriptions, all of that. Just like other web pages that you have, videos are SEO, search engine optimized areas that you need to focus on as well. When it doesn't connect, it doesn't go anywhere. If
Hmm.
it does connect, you can start seeing people that are really in it finding your video. So, Patricia, as we wrap up our episode on using YouTube for businesses to do lead generation, Any final thoughts?
It's got lots of value. Like Jen was saying, you have to optimize it, you know, have an intelligent strategy behind it. Just slapping videos on YouTube is not a strategy.
Like you said, having an intelligent strategy behind it, just simply putting videos up on YouTube is not the strategy to work with. So think about that. And if you have any thoughts, definitely let us know. Let us know what you are doing on YouTube, if anything. And until next time, this has been another episode of It's the Bottom Line That Matters. And here is to your success. Thanks so much for listening to another amazing episode of It's the Bottom Line That Matters podcast. We're all about helping the small business community grow and reaching as many people as we can. And the algorithms on the podcast programs love reviews. So if you loved what you just heard, consider leaving us a review. And even if you don't, I'm sure you already did, but consider sharing our episodes and our podcast with your friends and colleagues. Sharing is caring, and here's to your success. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day.
It's the bottom line that matters.